All right. In three, two, one. Hello, and welcome to Cast of Strong Style. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and I'm joined by my co host, Anwar Starwin. What's going on, Anwar?
Hello. I'm doing good.
Oh man, I'm doing excellent. I'm ready to talk some New Japan with you. We got some big things coming up on the horizon. So, it's been a couple of weeks, and so we're ready to get back into, talking about the best promotion going on right now in the whole wide world.
The world?
The world.
Oh, okay, Don.
Cast of Strong Style being brought to you by the CSPN. You can find us on the web at cspn.us. You can also find Cast of Strong Style on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. You can follow Anwar on Twitter at Anwar Starlin. You can follow me on Twitter at Don Delarente. And you can follow Cast of Strong Style on Twitter at Cast Strong Style. So, Anwar, we had the road shows uh, the past couple of weeks. Of course, they're going out to like the countryside, doing these kind of like spot shows. It's kind of old tradition. And so, on the first night of the Kiza Road, we had a never open weight rematch as we had the new champion, Michael Elgin, against the old champion, Hiroki Goto. So Elgin counters the GTR, but Goto escapes the burning hammer and he hits a PK. Goto follows with knee strikes and hits two GTRs to get the win and regain the never open weight title. Jeff Cobb arrives. He checks on Elgin and then faces off with Goto. Jeff Cobb then challenges Goto for a shot at the title. Goto accepts. So the match, fantastic. This was a damn good main event. Whatever his morals are, Mike Elgin is a damn good wrestler inside the ring. You can't deny when he puts on a good performance, no matter what your, personal feelings about him are. So I really love this match, man.
I really enjoyed it as well. It kind of was a little slow initially, but it found its pace and then connected with me. I knew I expected the match to be really good because I know that at times Goto can really step it up. And I know Mike can bring really entertaining in-ring matches, so it was nice to see them get that singles match. The finish was surprising, but I mean, I don't know if that somebody got to like HR or was like, not going to be the good look bringing this dude as champion to USA. So they just went yoink the title right back off.
uh, your
Finish man the
man,
match.
your man Taichi made an appearance in this match. He had a little run in, but he got thwarted. So it was fun. That doesn't even mess with the match for me because it keeps him in the mix because he felt like he didn't get his fair shake when Elgin won the title. He didn't get pinned. So
I mean, didn't he get pinned in the match though?
Taichi, yeah, he might have.
He got his. I mean, he ain't get his one on one, but I mean, what the hell did Tiaichi really do to deserve a title shot in the first place? He just kind of just interjected himself into that situation.
He trying to make sure that Michael Elgin and Goto both know he ain't forgot.
Y'all need to excuse Don. He's very much part of the secret society of Taichi fans.
Proud of it, man. I'm showing. I'm ahead of the curve.
Okay, Don. Let's move on from this.
All right. On the 19th, we had a match that featured Tanahashi, Michael Elgin, Juice Robinson, Jeff Cobb, and Kushida versus Okada, Goto, Jay White, Ishii, and Geto. Okada tags in and he flapjacks Kushida. Tanahashi takes Kushida out as it breaks down into the big move buffet. Kushida cuts off Goto and plants him with the DDT, and then he applies the hoverboard lock to Geto, and Kushida wins the match for his team. After the match, Jay White lays out all the baby faces as well as some young lions. Then he starts to target Juice Robinson. He works over Juice, but Juice starts to fire back. But then Juice gets caught with a low blow, and Jay White starts to lay in his elbows, and he leaves Juice laid out. Jay White then grabs a chair. He beats on those young lions some more, and then he tries to, do the Brian Pillman where he puts Juice's hand inside the steel chair and he's gonna stomp on it. But Juice, luckily, he escapes and he goes on the offensive until he tries to land a big left hand, but Jay White uses the chair to block it and he escapes the ring while Juice Robinson possibly has a broken hand. So,
Whew, that was a really good match, and that was a savage beatdown post match.
Jay White fucking snapped.
I don't know if it was the beginning of this match or the end of this match, but the thing that stood out was Okada coming out to music that's not his own, and him not being a champion, and Jay White referring to this is my chaos now. It's always the little Easter eggs, but Juice, yeah, man, Juice, that that, that hurt watching him get beat like that.
Yeah, man, Jay White, he really turned it up, man. That was I was like watching it, and then I tweeted out, and I was like, "Well, damn, this is Jay White I can kind of get behind right here."
Yeah, very savage and to the point, and whoo, that was they were really heating up Jay. So we 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 start to get to understanding why
Yeah,
over the course of those days because of the announcements. So
all right, right.
it all worked out. But yeah, Juice really caught a bad one on that, right?
The
Hmm.
main event of the evening on this particular card was Hiromu Takahashi, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, versus El Desperado. Takahashi hits a Hurricane Rana, and he then applies a triangle. But Desperado fires up, and he hits a buckle bomb to the exposed turnbuckle. Takahashi catches him on the charge with a suplex to the exposed buckles. Takahashi then follows with the Blu-ray and the time bomb, and Hiromu Takahashi retains the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Great match as always. Takahashi is crazy, and and El Despy is semi crazy, so it made for a hell of a match.
That is correct. Um, it I like how the match started and Hiromu gave Despy flowers, which is a direct homage to when Desperado made his return after his excursion to Mexico and gave Ibushi like the flowers after Ibushi, like I think either he won or retained at a Wrestle Kingdom. So that was a great
Mhm.
like Easter egg for us who've been watching for a number of years. And I just I just it wasn't it wasn't better than their super like best of super juniors match, but it was close and it had its own flavor. And unlike with that story, the fact that even Despy acknowledges that he can't beat Hiromu without a little more cheating. Because last time in that tournament, he cheated by himself, but this time he needed his tag team partner to help him. So just for the fact that he's doing that and he's acknowledging that Hiromu 1 versus 1 is probably surpassed him at this point. So he has to do every dirty handed trick to keep the gap close. So that was a nice little thing to see within that match. And I just like the counters comparison and compare it to like the previous match they had. This is a nice feud that they can have for years, and maybe someday, like Despy will come out with the mask someday. his match was pretty cool on that night too. So awesome like main event. I'm glad they got that opportunity to have that match.
Yeah, that's the one thing I love about New Japan, man. They're not afraid to let the small guys have a card. They're not afraid to let the tag teams have a card, the main event the card. They're not afraid to let the junior tag team champions, headline a card. So you get that variety in the main event, and some guys get some, chances to shine that, in other corporations it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, it's like other corporations, like it's pretty much singles driven, and it very rarely you will ever get to see like just a tag match be like the main event of like a pay per view or whatnot. And we get all type of like lineups and title matches, and that really does something for your roster when you realize you can have these opportunities on. It's really cool. So props to New Japan, like building up their roster and trusting their guys to step up when they need them to.
Right. So all in all, those were the highlights of the Keys Road show. We got a lot of, multi-man tag team matches, a bunch of good young lion matches though. Was the best the little series with the two guys that keep ending in a draw. I like that. I like that. So that's pretty cool. And then just a bunch of Suzuki Gun versus Lij type of stuff, going back around. So those were the main highlights. Anything else that kind of stood out to you? Something that I didn't highlight that you caught that you really like?
Time the match for Super Strong Machine and all the different colors that they had for that represented his team. I haven't really fully invested in like watching the translation of his speech, but I saw some excerpts of it and it was really good. So that's something people should check out because all those Super Strong Machine variations of colors, and it was like a rainbow, but it was really cool. I like his one too, his mask and singlet.
It would remind people, if they're old school WWF fans, remember the giant machines back in the day? Are you old?
Oh,
Are you that old?
that might be even before me.
Okay, so what it was like Andre the Giant and like Black Jack Mulligan dressed up with a mask on.
Oh, I didn't know about that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, but then they would like switch them out. So like it would be like what we saw in that retirement match where it would be like Black Jack Mulligan and maybe another big guy, Big John Studd or something the next time or something.
That's sneaky.
Yeah. So it was a little thing they had going on. So got some time on YouTube, look up WWE, WWF giant machines from back in the day. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, it was really cool to see the presentation of the Super Strong machine highlights, and his manager, and how big of a role he played. And then they all came out there with the manager and everything. The manager was extra hype. He was like, "Oh, it's my one last time to shine. I'm gonna get it."
Yeah, he was killing it. It was cool. Like, managers do have their purpose in wrestling if they're used properly.
Yeah, so just for something fun, if you guys want to check that out, that was the very last road show that they had on the program. So at this time, we want to remind y'all that this is Cast of Strong Style. I'm your host, Don Delarente. I'm joined by my co-host, Anwar Starwin. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. So Anwar, we got to talk about the G1 special. It's coming up at the end of next week. So July the 7th, I think is the correct date. So
Is it like for people who are watching it live on TV, like they get it right then and there, whereas the people watching on World, I think they have to wait like a day or something. So I'm probably
right,
in the other category. So
right. It
I'm
is
gonna have
going to be
watching, ducking those spoilers.
It is going to be broadcast live on Access TV. So if you have Direct TV, I know that is a part of the package. Just having Direct TV access is a part of that. If you do have New Japan World and you're in the United States, unfortunately, it will be blacked out live. But I guess as soon as the show's over, maybe like an hour or so after it, it'll be up on the site. So, it's going to take some maneuvering, some shaking and baking for those of us who are in Anwar's dilemma if they want to see it live and not have to duck and dodge the spoilers all night, because you basically have to put your phone down, face down, not look
I'm
at it.
good. The only thing that I have advantage of y'all, I have the choice between commentary, so I don't have to subject myself to no horror of English commentary.
Yeah.
Especially if the English commentator didn't do his research and is burying the roster.
Not naming any names, but you guys can figure it out.
God.
So for the G1 special, we're going to start off with Yoshihashi, Gedo, Rocky Romero, Sho and Yo versus Haku, Tamatanga, Tangaloa, Takahashi, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens. That's going to be fun. See Haku.
That should be a good opening match, and I expect Bullet Club to go over because that shit's a tie into what's going to happen, may or may not happen at the end of the night. We'll get to that in a second.
Right. And I think
Haku, always glad to see King Haku.
Right, and I think Haku got like his start in San Francisco too. So
yeah, that was great. Did you see like the Bullet Club presents G1 like video where Cody was basically like a host and sending to different like segments for various members of Bullet Club?
No, I have to check this out.
It's really good because it was a certain point when he kicks it to Tama Tonga and then Tama Tonga was about to declare, and then Cody cut the video. No, buddy.
Yeah, these guys are changing the game, man, because they're producing their own promos, their own little stuff like that. You know, they're really taking their own stuff and their own creative into their own hands, and New Japan is definitely the beneficiary of it for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have Ishii and Yano, that formidable tag team, in a rematch of a match that we really liked from a couple of weeks back, versus Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. If this one is as good as the one that they had a couple of weeks back, oh man.
Repeat that again.
Ishii and Yano versus Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, that match surprised everybody.
Right.
That nice combination of violence but also humor, that perfect balance. Huh. I hope it's as good as that Dominion match, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I said. If it's as good as that one, man, they're gonna be in for a treat.
Yeah, man. I hope so.
Fun tag team here. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kushida versus Hangman Page and Marty Scurll. So, Marty's on this rampage to wipe out not only the junior heavyweights, but also the legends too. So he gets a 2-shot here with Kushida and Tanahashi.
This is a good match. Depending on what Marty Scurll we get to will help aid this match.
Right.
Because we get if we get the Marty Scurll that's really here to just kill it, then it should be really fun. But if we're getting like house show Marty, then I don't know.
It's going to be an interesting dynamic because those, they're going to be so over, Bullet Club guys, being the Elite, Kenny, Cody, they're going to be so over. So hopefully they all come with their working boots on. And
Yeah, I think they probably will do, especially because it's in America. So this should be a good match, and it's nice to see like in Tanahashi in America and not a multi like match, but
right,
just a nice little tag match. This is good.
right.
This should be a nice solid match.
We start into our championship matches as we start with the never open weight title match between Hiroki Goto and Jeff Cobb.
Hmm. This is a nice replacement match, and it's good to give Cobb more spotlight in the company in a place where I think he used to work or live. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a nice little balance. So I think this might be Cobb's maybe first singles match in New Japan. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if it's not his first, it may be like his second. He hasn't had many.
So this should be really good. So I think this might be one of those sneaky matches that people just probably be like, oh, this would be a little good match, and then it just surprises them when they get to see it live.
Right, right. We have a rematch for the IWGP Tag Team titles as the champions, the Young Bucks, go up against Evil and Sonata.
The Young Bucks forever. We saw what they were capable of doing at Dominion, and that was one of the best tag matches I've seen this year. So I expect nothing less with a crowd that'll be hot for it. They're like the Young Bucks are locals, and Evil and Sonata are a known commodity together or solo. So I expect I expect a 4-star plus match or something, if you
All right.
believe in those type of ratings.
All right. You have to get the Anwar Star Win rating system out here on the program one week.
Oh Lord, I try to run away from those star ratings because
You can do something like Afro picks or something that relates to you.
Afro pick so we can steal from the source and go Mike's or double XL ratings.
So we have Okada and Will Osprey, and they're facing off against Naito and Bushi.
Ooh, this gonna be fun. This gonna be fun. This gonna be fun. Ah, we all know who's gonna take the pinfall, but it's still gonna be fun. You
You
get
you think
three.
Power Ranger Will is going to do something death defying?
That boy gonna have me looking like Uncle Drew. All the mischief. Please, please, God, protect Will from himself. Don't let him do no craziness. I mean, let him not do no super Sabu in his prime crazy ish. So,
That's the same prayer we said for Sasha Banks in the Money in the Bank match.
oh, oh, not Sasha. Oh, I love that child like she's my own. Oh, I remember the rest of the cast family and all the black fans at the WWE pay per view locally a couple of years ago when Sasha and Big E did all those crazy things and got hurt, and we were like in the crowd just freaking nervous, waiting for information. Like, you're out of future. Please don't kill yourselves.
Exactly.
You're all we got. But yeah, man, I just expect this to be a real fun match, and maybe we'll see some little hint of a future match between two rivals, and maybe setting up something in the future. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Next up, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Title match, as we have our champion Hiromu Takahashi versus Dragon Lee. Oh man.
Oh my God, this match made me so sad that I can't go to the show. Oh, I got the ticket and I can't go, but yeah, I was like, Dragon Lee and Hiromu. Oh my god! Like once I saw that Dragon Lee beat Hiromu at Best of Super Juniors, I knew it was going to be a match at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Did not have no idea this was a possibility. Oh,
Because
people, we're in for a treat on that with them too, because
right.
don't they give their all versus each other, and it's
Mm-hmm.
well, and their best matches are always usually in the ranking for best matches of the year. So
Mm-hmm. So here's basically going to be a preview of this match, folks. They're going to have the entrances, the bell's going to ring, and there's not going to be any of that circling around like catch as catch can filling you out. They just going to
no,
start fighting, and you're going to be like, what the hell is going on here? Just sit back and relax and let them take you on a ride because they're
just
going to maim each other, especially for the title. Oh my gosh.
title, yeah, man. That's another wrinkle to it.
Yeah, this is that match might steal the show.
Oh hell yeah. I think I would put money that this probably be the match that people talk about like after the show and into the future.
Right, right. Next up, the IWGP US title match between the champion, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. This is really cool for Juice Robinson to be able to come back to America and not only be somebody, but be in a title match that's the semi main in the best company in the world.
You saying that best company in the world, dog.
The world, Craig.
You better be careful. You know how them fans be. Get up in your mentions, trying to tell you.
Man, come on, man. If you like wrestling, not entertainment, but if you like wrestling, you know this is
Right.
the best company in the world.
You got to put that little ambiance, why what you like you said, so people will just give you defense so they can leave you alone. But yeah, man, Juice always been somebody to me. I always thought he was cool, but him going away and basically find himself to get better,
Mm-hmm.
best thing he did for himself long term, and it's
Mm-hmm.
showing out. Even his old friend Kevin Owens just recently said Joe Juice Robinson is the best promo in wrestling, and he didn't have to say that, but he did. So people were noticing Juice and him improving. So this is a big moment for Juice, and this is a big moment for Jay because Tanahashi's getting old, and somebody has to be in that fourth spot. This might be a battle of who eventually takes over that fourth spot. So we'll see.
Yeah, and you know they know each other very well because they were both young boys at the same time. Like you said, Juice Robinson came from NXT, basically put himself in the New Japan dojo to basically go through a much harder version of wrestling school. And him and Jay White have had a lot of matches together, so you know they know each other very well. So as we said, they shot that good angle where you know Juice is coming into the match with his left hand, his biggest weapon, all busted up. So this is going to be fun, man. We saw a really sadistic, aggressive side of Jay White, and we'll see if he can bring that to the table in this title match against Juice.
Yep, man. I hope they do a great job because we need the future to be in a good position. So I'm rooting for it to be good, and I'm hoping it's going to be good. So
And then our main event of the evening for the IWGP Heavyweight title match and the de facto leader of the Bullet Club, we have the champion, Kenny Omega versus Cody.
come
Anwar,
on, dog. You know
uh,
who's going to win this
is that
match.
is there any doubt in your mind who's
It
coming
ain't
out
no doubt in
victorious?
my mind. And Guido like to play around, or Gato likes to mess around with the booking and screw with you, and you don't know what's going to happen. We can't just go through all we went through for the last couple of years for him to drop the title in his first defense versus Cody. Hell no. This is going to be a good main event match. They're gonna lead you to think it's gonna go one way. Kenny gonna take it, and then they're gonna make a fake play of solidarity, and then probably the OG's gonna come down and kick all them Bamas out the group. So
that would be
that's what I
fun.
said. Better watch, be careful, and see how that match ends early in the card, because that might be a giant hint of what's going to happen later.
All right. So there's your preview for the G1 special next Saturday, July the 7th. As always, when you live tweet, use the hashtag Cast of Strong Style so we can retweet and interact with you. Let everybody hear your thoughts, share your thoughts on New Japan in America. This week's program is being sponsored by Amazon.com. Please go to CSPN.us, click on the tab at the top of the page that says Keep Our Podcast Free. Click on the very first tab after that, which is Amazon. Do like I did. I had to buy some earbuds and a tripod. So I went through CSPN.us. So some of what I purchased came back to the CSPN network, and it helped keep the Cast of Strong Style and all the other podcasts here on the network free for everyone each and every week. So follow my lead and go to CSPN.us through Amazon.com and do it today. So Anwar, we're going to talk about the G1, my man, the real G1 that will be taking place July. I think that's July 14th is the first date, all the way through August the 11th or something like that. 19 events. It's going to come up to, when it's all said and done, around 98 matches in total, with the finals included. And it's probably the hardest, most grueling tournament there is left in wrestling. You don't come out of this tournament without some type of injury, some type of something wrapped. You're going to probably have about 2 or 3 matches where you're going to be at your best. And then after that, your arm or your knee or your ankle or something's going to be aching and bothering you. So we'll go through the blocks really quick, and then we'll talk about kind of each block individually. So in the A block, we have Makabe, Michael Elgin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Okada, Jay White, Yoshihashi, Bad Luck Fale, Adam Page, Evil, and Minoru Suzuki. So, of course, Tanahashi and Okada sticks out, right away in that one.
Yep.
But Jay White and Okada, that's going to be good.
That's going to be good. And I know that they like to do upsets in the opening matches, like at a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a possibility, but I don't know. I got to think about that match.
Minoru Suzuki versus Tanahashi and Okada. Those matches should be pretty good.
I mean, Okada and Suzuki just had a match in the monsoon, so
right. That was this was to symbolize the 30 years of Minoru Suzuki being in wrestling and mixed martial arts.
So yeah, I mean, they have great matches versus each other, so I expect nothing else. The match versus each other at G1 was one of the best matches I saw last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really was. This could be a really good spot for Hangman Page here, Adam Page. He could, pick up a couple of wins and have a couple of, showcase matches here or there. So, big things
completely on that in relation to Hangman.
Yeah, big things can come out of just being in this tournament for guys. Even if you don't score a lot of points, you have a chance to wrestle some of the best wrestlers night after night and put on some really good matches.
Yep.
We'll shift over to the B block where we have Juice Robinson, Hiroki Goto, Ishii, Yano, Tama Tonga, Sanada, Naito, Zack Sabre Jr., Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi. So go ahead, give me your displeasure.
The B block?
Kenny and Ibushi in the same block. Are you happy? Are you not happy?
I'm happy because I'm gonna get the match, but I would have been happy if that would have been a final, not a semifinal. So I mean, they could still run back that match again someday. So,
right.
But it probably would have been better if they would have saved it for the Dome, because I believe their last match was a Dome where it was a singles match. So I don't know. So
Yeah.
that could have been, that's kind of like, that's kind of a missing opportunity. So, but as a viewer, hell yeah, I want to see that match.
B block is freaking loaded.
B block is the group of friggin' death.
I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. is gonna stretch some fools. Sonata's gonna out athletic some fools. Naito is just gonna wrestle his normal matches. Kenny is gonna go up and down these group of guys and make Juice Robinson again. If you didn't believe in him, he's gonna, him and Tama Tonga are gonna have a fantastic match. Yeah, this is just gonna be fantastic in Block B.
Yep. I'm still trying to run through scenarios. I have my current scenario of how I made my favorites for the blocks, but it's kind of hard, because I've broken down who I think are the favorites in each block, and who are the cards and who's at the bottom of them. But if right now I'm kind of looking at it, I'm like, this might change. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you can't get swayed by the beginning, because that whatever, it's kind of like the NCAA tournament. Whatever upsets tend to happen in the first few shows, and then after that, things kind of settle down, and the usual players tend to kind of rise to the top after that. So
I think I got a great idea from the Voices crew, and it makes sense. If you try to figure out where they're trying to go Wrestle Kingdom wise, it can help you lead you into the direction of what you need to do to go through it. Because it has to have certain individuals at the end. You got to think about the year in the past to help you with this. This is picking this tournament. You really got to be active watching New Japan for at least the last year, or at least this year, to have a really good feel for this, because it's some people think Kenny's going to hold the title into Wrestle Kingdom. Some people feel he's going to drop it at King of Pro Wrestling or one of those fall shows. So it's those variables. So a lot of people thinking Naito is going to beat Omega in this tournament, and you know what? I can see that perspective as well. Kind of right now, I have Naito winning that block.
Not to mention they're 2 for 2 in G1 matches the last 2 years.
So it's I could see that, but I kind of see Omega is just becoming champion. They probably would want him to win that match and make Naito have to go a bit harder to get to that title match. So I really think I'm a believer of that Ishii's going to beat him and get that fall title match. That's how I feel right now. It might change, but I feel Ishii's going to beat him at some point this June, and that'll set him up as a challenger, and it'll show also spotlight where Okada can just be a little trickster, a little low-key with it, saying, "Oh, you remember how Ishii beat Okada and never gave him a challenge for the title? I'm not like that." See you in a couple months, Ishii.
So let me ask you this question. Who do you think has a chance to get the title first? Naito or Kota Ibushi?
My whole thing with Kota Ibushi, what hampers him, is he not under a long-term contract with New Japan?
Mm-hmm.
Where when he got that New Japan Cup like win and stuff, I believe he was under contract with New Japan. They're only going to go so far with like Ibushi as a freelancer, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't blame him. So that I always think about how the business end affects the actual in ring. So I don't know. I don't think Ibushi gonna get that title from. Nah, I don't think Ibushi's gonna get that title. He might challenge and might get the title shot, but nah, I don't see it as long as he's a freelancer.
All right. Anybody that you feel is gonna kind of, I know it's already loaded, but anybody you see that's kind of breakout performance in Group B?
I expect Zack Sabre Jr. to continue the momentum he's been doing the entire year, continue building upon what he did at New Japan Cup. I expect this tournament run to even furthermore cement him as one of those main eventers in New Japan. So I expect big things for Zack Sabre Jr. in the B block, and in the A block, as we talked about earlier. I expect Jay White to do his thing and be in the mix at the end. But I also kind of feel like Evil is going to be there too, near that. Either he's going to be in that main event, like top four potential who could win A block.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to win it, but he's going to be in it, or he's going to be borderline in the mid card. It's either for me. I can see a situation where it's Okada, Tanahashi, Evil, and White in the battle at Final Day in that block, or you could take either Evil out or White out and put Suzuki in. It's a lot of potential. So Maccabi's going to just get his points because he's a pop star over there, and he brings in promote like outside eyes to the product. So Maccabi's always going to be in that mid tier and get his points. So
All right. All right. So, like we said, starting on July 14th on New Japan World, you will be able to catch each and every G1 tournament match. They will have English commentary as well. I think it's just going to be like Kevin Kelly and probably like a rotating second, and probably somebody to help translate the interviews as well. I've been kind of doing that here lately on the English commentary, which is pretty helpful. So
Cyrus don't do house shows, bruh.
he's over huge, so he only does the big towns, man.
Yeah, he's out there killing the town. But who do you like? Who is someone you could think win A block? Because outside of the obvious person we all think is going to win A block, like who can be that person to just disrupt that and surprises and win that block?
Because he's the only person in this block with a singles title, I'm thinking Jay White.
I think Jay could win it. I mean, it would be a different. Yeah, I would be cool, man. I
Yeah.
would. That would be also a signal for the future too. So
Mm-hmm. I
it'll
mean,
create issues, maybe potentially in chaos or whatever. So that's
mm-hmm.
future thing.
I mean, okay, like imagine it be Jay White and Okada in the final match to go to the final in the A block final, right? They both tied or whatever. Jay White's up one or whatever. Down one would probably be the better scenario where he has to pin him to advance, and Jay White gets the win and goes into the final.
But see,
And
that's the thing though. They face each other at the opener in the block, so they're
ah,
going to be independent of each other.
right,
So
right,
and be a tiebreaker potentially. So
right. Yeah, because all the matches are already like blocked out, right? They already know who they're gonna wrestle as far as the matchups.
yeah, they got them the dates and everything. I got it all written down. Like Okada versus Jay White the opening night, Naito versus Omega opening night of that block. So at the end of that B block, it's Omega versus
Ibushi,
Ibushi,
right? Yeah.
and at the end of A block, it's Okada versus Tanahashi. So
Yeah, that's gonna be so much fun. Back to back nights.
it would be crazy that it would be crazy if Tanahashi stole that block.
That was my gonna be my first thought, but I was like, that's too obvious as a sleeper just
It's
because.
too obvious. But sometimes you gotta keep it simple, stupid.
Right, right, right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at your nose in the mirror, right? Because it's right in front of you.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, last year was my first year going through every match. The year before, I kind of kept up with it, but I didn't, take in every match. But since we started the podcast last year, around a little bit before his U one time, I got to take in every match and got to see some guys put in some really good performances. They usually don't have good matches, quote unquote. But in this type of environment where they're gonna get 15 solid minutes, 20 most of the time, you get to see some guys put in some good work. So I'm excited.
I was like, what is it? Also, when you're watching these tournaments for like newcomers, it's you got to pay attention who are the champions and if they get pinned or not, and also if the person that pinned them got pinned by somebody else in that same block, because that determines who's going to get title shots like after the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's
Uh,
why I kind of feel a certain way about Jay White and Juice Robinson.
mm,
I feel a certain way that if Juice don't win that, he's going to beat Goto at some point during the G1, and then he's going to beat Goto, maybe beat Goto for that championship, that never championship, at
okay.
a future show. So that's what I'm kind of watching.
Yeah, the wins do matter here in New Japan, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wins and losses matter. Oh my!
So Anwar, at this time, man, thank you once again for joining me. I'm gonna open it up to you for your shout outs and thank yous.
Everybody stay tranquilo in these turbulent times.
You got your fist up and your eye thing going. You said that.
I'm rubbing my chin here like evil.
Okay. Did you see? Was that the match before they wrestled the machines where the little kid came up to Naito that was dressed like him and they did the fist bump? Did you see that?
Yeah, like the little kid was kind of nervous because he didn't know if like Naito would fist bump him,
Right.
but he did. So
Right.
yeah, it's always fun to see those kids kind of scared if he's going to do it or not, and then he does it.
That's how you make him a baby face. It's slowly happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I don't know though. He keeps messing with Hiromu's trophy. We're gonna have something because Hiromu's starting to get a little bit feistier with it than he used to be.
yeah.
You see, I know you see that. I know you see that. You're always a man who's looking at the foreshadowing.
I see that, but I also like the little jokes that like that Evil and him had at Omega's expense in the post match one time. It's like you talk about us not being pulling our weight. You just won the world championship. Where are you? We're here. And then Evil just coming, yeah, champion, but don't even be on the show. And they walked away. Oh man, love the little stuff they do in these promos and post match things. Because once he said that crap about Naito after he won the IWGP, I knew it's on.
Yeah, so fun times, fun times. Like I said, I just like to thank Anwar. Give a big shout out to Moto, Omega Moto. Hope she's doing good. I was in contact with her. She said she was in good spirits, so that's always good. Give a shout out to Mama Moto. Hopefully she's doing well as well. Like I said, please use the hashtag Cast a Strong Style for every time that you live tweet. We will retweet and interact with you. That's how we can see who's talking about New Japan. So please continue to use the hashtag for all of the veterans and for the newcomers. That is the live official live tweet hashtag for the podcast and the show account as well. That's really all I got. Big shout out to rest in peace to Big Van Vader, all-time legend in New Japan, especially. I mean, that's where the legend was born. The AWA first, and then he, got a lot of his fame and stardom and wealth and recognition came in Japan and wrestling. Stan Hansen and Terry Funk and Baba and all the likes of those guys. So definitely a legend, in Japan and in America. So RIP to him, and prayers out to his family and friends. So definitely a big part of New Japan history, goes away with Big Van Vader, man. He really, really put himself and that promotion on the map in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Yep, if you feel the need to do some research on him, you can go on New Japan World. They have a bunch of his matches up there, and you can look for his match, some of his stuff from All Japan and Noah on Daily Motion or YouTube. You just got to put his name in the search bar, and you're good.
Yeah. So definitely check out some of those matches with Stan Hansen from New Japan, man. They were really out there slugging it out against each other. It's some really wild stuff. So on that note, for my co-host, Anwar Starwin, I'm Don Delarente, and this has been Cast of Strong Style.